You're lying there, eyes closed, body exhausted. But your mind is running a marathon at full speed. You're replaying that conversation from 3 days ago, mentally drafting tomorrow's to-do list, wondering if you turn the stove off, calculating how many hours of sleep you'll get if you fall asleep right now. And somehow that calculation makes it even worse. Sound familiar? Because if you've ever spent more than 20 minutes staring at the ceiling, watching the clock tick toward midnight, then toward 1, then toward 2, you already know that exhaustion and sleep are not the same thing. And nobody ever taught you the difference. Here's something most people never realize. The reason you can't fall asleep fast has almost nothing to do with your bed, your pillow, or even how tired you are. It has everything to do with what happens in the hours before you even try to sleep. And once you understand that, everything changes. That shift alone has helped thousands of people go from lying awake for hours to falling asleep in under 15 minutes, night after night. We'll get there. But first, I want you to understand the full picture of what's actually happening in your body and your brain when you can't sleep. Because here's the thing, you're not broken. You're not weird. You're not suffering from some mysterious disorder. What's happening to you is completely logical and it's fixable. Let's talk about the real cost of poor sleep for a second, and I don't just mean feeling groggy. The average person who struggles to fall asleep loses somewhere between 90 minutes and 3 hours of actual sleep per night. Over a single week, that's up to 21 hours of lost sleep. Over a month, that's nearly 4 days of your life gone, and during those lost hours, your body is missing critical recovery time. Your brain isn't flushing out the toxins it's supposed to clear every night. Your cortisol levels are spiking. Your metabolism is getting disrupted. Your emotional regulation is going haywire. And your decision-making becomes genuinely impaired. You're not just tired. You're functioning at maybe 60% of who you actually are. And most people have been living like that for so long, they've forgotten what it feels like to be at 100. Now, if you're the kind of person who has already tried melatonin gummies, blackout curtains, sleep podcasts, white noise machines, and every other thing the internet has ever recommended and nothing seems to work consistently, then you're probably starting to wonder if there's something wrong with you specifically. There isn't. The problem isn't that those things don't work. The problem is that they're addressing symptoms, not the actual source. And that source starts before your head ever hits the pillow. Here's where the evening wind-down routine comes in. And before I walk you through exactly what to do, I want to be honest with you. If you're looking for a magic 1-minute fix that requires zero effort, this isn't that. But if you're willing to invest about 45 minutes of your evening in a specific sequence of simple actions, the results are genuinely dramatic. People who've applied what I'm about to share report falling asleep faster within the very first night. Not after weeks, the first night. Now, there is a more comprehensive version of this system available for people who want to go deeper. If you're serious about transforming not just how fast you fall asleep, but the entire quality of your sleep and your energy levels, there's a program linked in the description below this video. Most people who find this kind of information wish they'd found it sooner. The ones who do something about it almost always say the same thing. Why did I wait so long? So just keep that in mind as we go through this. Let's start with what's actually happening in your body during the evening and why it sabotages your sleep without you even knowing it. Your body runs on a biological clock called the circadian rhythm. This rhythm is incredibly precise and it's largely controlled by two things, light and cortisol. As the sun goes down, your brain is supposed to start producing melatonin, the hormone that creates that natural sleepy, heavy-eyed feeling. But here's the dramatic twist. Every time you look at a bright screen in the evening, your brain interprets that light as sunlight. It thinks it's still daytime. It immediately suppresses melatonin production and keeps cortisol, your stress and alertness hormone, elevated. So when you're scrolling through your phone at 9 or 10 at night, your brain is biologically convinced it's noon. And then you get frustrated that you can't fall asleep. This isn't a willpower problem. This is biology working exactly as designed against your modern habits. The fix for this is not complicated, but the timing is critical. Starting about 90 minutes before you want to be asleep, you need to begin shifting your environment and your behavior in a very deliberate way. This is called your wind-down window, and it is the most powerful thing most people never do. Step 1. Dim every light in your home. Not just turn the overhead lights off, but actively reduce the brightness everywhere. Lamps on low, screens dimmed all the way down, warm tones only. This single change begins signaling your brain that nighttime has arrived. Studies show that reducing light exposure in the evening can increase melatonin production within 30 minutes. 30 minutes. No supplement required. Step 2 happens about 80 minutes before sleep. This is where most people get it completely wrong. You need to process your thoughts before they process you while you're lying in bed. Take 5 minutes, just 5, and write down everything on your mind. Not a journal in the emotional sense, just a brain dump. The conversation you're replaying, the thing you're worried about, the task you didn't finish, the weird thing someone said. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Research on this specific technique, often called a worry download, shows that people who do this fall asleep significantly faster because they've given their brain permission to stop holding on to those thoughts. Your brain keeps spinning on unfinished items. Once they're written down, your brain can let them go. That's not a theory, that's neuroscience. Step 3. 70 minutes before sleep. Body temperature. This one is dramatically underrated and almost nobody talks about it. Your core body temperature needs to drop slightly in order for you to fall asleep. This is why you sleep better in a cool room, but you can actually accelerate this process yourself. A warm shower or bath taken about an hour before bed actually causes your body temperature to drop faster afterward as heat leaves your skin. The contrast triggers a biological cooling response that sends a powerful sleep signal to your brain. People who add this to their routine consistently report feeling drowsy faster than they have in years. Step 4. 50 minutes before sleep. This is about your nervous system. The reason so many people lie awake with a racing heart or a tight chest isn't just mental, it's physical. Your nervous system is still in a sympathetic fight-or-flight state from the day. You need to actively switch it into parasympathetic mode, which is your rest and digest state. The simplest and most research-supported way to do this is a breathing technique called box breathing. You inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and repeat. Just 4 minutes of this technique measurably lowers heart rate, reduces cortisol, and activates your vagus nerve in a way that physically calms your body down. Military personnel have used variations of this technique to fall asleep in under 2 minutes in high-stress combat conditions. 2 minutes. That's the power of this tool. Step 5. 40 minutes before sleep. This is the environment reset. Your bedroom needs to become what sleep scientists call a sleep sanctuary. And this isn't about aesthetics, it's about associative conditioning. Your brain learns associations incredibly quickly. If you watch TV in bed, answer emails in bed, eat in bed, your brain starts associating your bed with wakefulness and activity instead of sleep. The moment you start treating your bedroom as exclusively a space for sleep, your brain begins generating melatonin the second you walk in. The room should be cool, ideally between 65 and 68 degrees if you can manage it. It should be dark, it should be quiet or have consistent low-level sound, and your phone should be physically outside the room if possible. Not on silent, outside the room. Step 6. 30 minutes before sleep. This is the mental decompression phase, and it's where the real magic happens. You need something that is genuinely absorbing but completely unstimulating. Reading a physical book is the gold standard here. Not an e-reader, not a tablet, a physical book. Fiction works best because it pulls your mind into a completely different world, which naturally displaces the anxious looping thoughts about your own life. People who read fiction before bed for even 20 minutes fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more mentally restored. But there's a critical rule. The moment you feel your eyes getting heavy, you stop. You don't push through another chapter. You put the book down and you move immediately to sleep. That drowsy window is precious, and most people miss it. Now here's what happens when you string all 6 of these steps together consistently for just 1 week. The first night, you might fall asleep 30 to 40 minutes faster than usual. By night 3, your body starts anticipating sleep as soon as you begin the routine, almost like a conditioned reflex. By night 7, people describe it as feeling like their body is being pulled into sleep almost effortlessly. The difference between someone who does this and someone who doesn't isn't intelligence or discipline, it's information and consistency. Now think about what you'd do with that extra energy. The mental clarity you'd have, the patience you'd feel with the people you love, the focus you'd bring to your work, the way your body would feel if it was actually recovering the way it was designed to. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's the foundation that everything else in your life is built on. And if you want to go beyond what we covered today and completely transform the way your entire body recovers and recharges, there is a program linked in the description below this video. People who've gone through it describe it as the first time they've ever truly understood their sleep and their body. It won't be available at this price point for long. And the people who keep telling themselves they'll get to it later are the ones who'll still be staring at the ceiling 6 months from now. The ones who act today are the ones who wake up tomorrow already different. The link is right below this video. You already know what you need to do.